bad. And then we'll call it a night. Okay. And Maiev is now in the PTR. And so what are your thoughts? We'll go to Tara Baron first.
I actually like this character a lot. I was playing him in the PTR try mode earlier before the show, and I really like how the bind and the warp, the E, really kind of synergizes together because you can bind and then warp away, and then it'll stun them. I think it's gonna be really strong earlier game because you can kind of pull them in toward the towers. I think that's gonna get a lot of people like caught off by surprise. And I really like the shadow, the E ability, because you can take it like whenever, and it's like 3 seconds or so when it's out. And also the animation when it's going back and forth with the eyes kind of like fading as it goes is really cool stylistically. I know you guys don't appreciate that, but I do. One thing is I think that maybe the fan of knives, it's really short range, and then you have to be at a certain distance to hit. So
I don't think it's that short. I think it's very narrow. It's more
too
narrow.
long.
Like you can't hit anyone inside the fan of arrows, though.
Fan of knives.
Fan of knives.
Fan of arrows.
Fan of knives.
No, but it's like that little moon-shaped curve that's really hard to hit.
Yeah, it's crescent
Yeah,
shape.
it has to be kind of within that range and width. But I like the bind ability and then how it synergizes with the E. I think that's super cool.
So Schizo says in chat that if you position well, then it's not a problem.
Yep.
Yep, it's a matter of practice.
Also, I think like you want to like kind of use Umbra Bind and then E out to kind of activate it, but it's really hard to engage by yourself because E is your only movement ability, and it's a pretty long cooldown, so it's really hard to use it twice in a team fight or use it to activate Umbra Bind.
Yeah.
I
can
feel
see
like
it pulling a lot
like,
of people though into towers.
You definitely need a hard engage hero to help you out with getting Umbra Bind off or to engage.
Yeah. And you have to be really spot on with the trait too, the jump, the one that's going to avoid avoid damage and stuns and stuff. Like if you're off by a little bit, then like you're screwed. I was just trying on try mode, and the default opponent's Arthas. I was just trying to dodge his W, and you have to be pretty on point with that. So,
all right. So I have two questions. So first of all, thank you to Two Ton Yoda for giving us 200 cheers. That's awesome. And second of all, Scott, what do you think about the new character?
I like her. I like the feel. I was listening to Town Hall Heroes, and like one of the hosts there was concerned that she'd be a lot like Zeratul, because if you played Warcraft 3, her abilities are basically Blank and Fan of Knives, which was basically like a like Cleave.
Yeah.
And she had like a Poison Dart, which was a lot like Singularity Spike. So, seeing her, how they implemented her, she, doesn't seem anything like that. So, and she captures the, the feel of the Warden from when I played Warcraft 3. And I like that she,
Yeah, I mean, the outplay potential with, Genji's going in, getting like a 5-man team wipe with Dragon Blade. I feel like that potential is there for Maiev, but also the same potential of getting in there and getting popped in 1 second because you're an idiot.
Yeah, I like how she's anti-mobility. She seems like she'll counter, a lot of the mobility creep. In particular, I'm hoping she'll counter Genji, because I'm not the biggest fan of how he's just able to dash in and out all over the place.
Yeah, that should be good for the dash.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll fully pull him back.
Yeah, or like Hanzo trying to jump away using his trait. He's going to get sucked back, so...
Or Tracer, for that matter.
Yeah, but the only thing is with the Umbral Bind, you got to get an attack off, so... and you don't really have a solid engage to get near Tracer. But
Yep.
if you are able to attack her, no, Tracer's still hard because she's still got recall, which will take that away.
Okay.
But a lot of the other heroes, she can lock down and make sure they're not moving around too much.
Her
So
E is
Schizo-
quick.
Oh.
Her E is quick, but it's not a blink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a
The one thing-
faster Sylvanas trait. A Sylvanas E.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the Fan of Knives, when you hit it's on a cooldown of 4 seconds. When you hit 2 enemy heroes or more than that, the cooldown's reduced to 0.5 seconds.
And the mana refund too.
That cooldown reduction seems kind of ridiculous. I mean, I guess you'll be limited by your mana pool, but that to be able to just spam that.
There's mana refund if you hit 2 heroes. It's free. Same as Maeiv's Q.
Okay, yeah, so that just seems kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
Like if you're going up against a dive comp and you got 3 people diving in and you're not the one they're diving on to blow up and you're just able to spam that, like you gotta be doing a ton of damage.
And I don't know if it's just me. Her abilities right now, they just seem a little bit overtuned. She just hits a lot, and I play like 5 games in quick match with her, with a 5-man stack, and I felt like I wasn't really effective because obviously I was learning the hero, but I was still number 1 damage, and I didn't
who are you
feel
playing
like I
with?
was doing number 1 damage types of plays. Like even I know the PTR environment, it's a huge range of skill levels, and it's not really good to take anything out of that in terms of just getting the feel for the character. And I felt like I was dog shit all 5 games. I made a couple good plays, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm number 1 damage play. And I was number 1 damage, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess. But she
She's
just
also
feels
really
overtuned.
tanky on top of dealing all that damage.
She gets
so
15
why is-
base.
So why
15
is
base
that?
armor, and she's got 2,200 hit points to start.
Yeah.
That's
Tank is
what
level
around
almost.
ETC level?
Yeah, ETC level HP.
And
But
she
no, but
has
she
like
has permanent armor.
Yeah, and then her 13 talent tier is basically puts her
More
over like
armor.
40 armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, why is she the first melee assassin to have baseline armor? That seems very unfair to like the Thralls and the Zeratul out there.
Well, she's got no sustain. Everybody that's a melee assassin has sustain besides Samuro, I believe.
Yeah.
Zeratul can get it at 13. He gets it kind of late, but he's like an ambush hero. But in general, the visible melee assassins all have sustain, which she doesn't. And she's a lot, I'd say, like Illidan, to where she's got to be really close to her target to be effective. She doesn't really have any kind of poke. She's got her E, which, I mean, you can poke a little bit, but that's probably better off used as an engage or, saving it for an escape, not necessarily poke damage. So she's got to be in the fight to be dealing damage.
Well, a lot of her abilities help her be sticky, like Umbral Bind, her E ability, and then she can also talent into speed at level 20. Oh, that's level 20 though. And then her Warden's Cage or Containment Disc is also kind of like a root ability if you think about it like that. Schizo has a great point in chat. Like Blizzard says in the video that we're watching right now, one of her strengths is anti-mobility. So when they say that, it's kind of like, oh, anti-Genji, anti-Tracer. But do you think it's even more oppressive for not fast heroes like a Butcher or,
Basically
somebody like that?
the
Yeah.
dive composition, once they dive, there's no running away.
Yeah.
So,
But if you dive and you dive successfully, then hey, then you're winning. You just won the fight. Like yes, she says, if you dive, you must fight this. But like, yeah, I want to fight this. It's not really, it's not really a counter. She can't prevent something. She has no peel. She says we're fighting.
It's definitely a counter. You Umbral Bind them, and the other people that are diving run out of Umbral Bind range. And those heroes that are, you got bound, either chase them and get pulled back to you, or they stand on the outside edge of that waiting for it to wear off. So you're essentially holding them in place while your team is free to run away if they're not stun locked or slowed.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if the enemy team's diving you, they're still on top of you, right? She can't peel anyone out. She says she chooses where you fight at, but can't actually, disengage.
You can peel with the bind. You can just go the opposite. Like if you're peeling away from your team, you mean peel away from the team or peel away from yourself?
Yeah, like I mean, she can't disengage from a fight, right? She
Yeah,
chooses.
herself. Yeah.
Yeah,
say
she
that.
chooses the location of where you fight very well, but if you're with your team and your team is dove on top of, you can't do anything about that.
She can
Like,
peel
yes,
other
you'll probably
people
win the
off of
fight.
them.
She's an assassin. A lot of assassins don't have ways to peel very well like that. That's
Yeah.
not her
Yeah.
role.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that she's not really an anti-dive hero because she doesn't stop the dive.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I said she's anti-mobility. I never said
Okay.
anti-dive.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's anti-disengage. If anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly.
Now, Bacon, in those 5 games, did you go the Q build? The one
I
that
tried
buffs the-
Q build, and then I
Yeah.
tried Umbra Bind.
Yeah.
The Bonds of Justice at level 1, which is basically get multiple 2-man Umbra Binds off. That
Yeah.
shit is hard, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking that
It's
too. Hard to-
impossible.
2 people with an auto attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing against bronze level players on PTR because that's usually what happens, and I couldn't get. Maybe I just suck with her right now, but yeah, it's gonna take a while to get used to.
You got the fight mid where people, jump up and jump in and love to fight, but outside of that, you don't have a lot of team fights where you're getting value from that until like probably close to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can finish the quest, it's actually a lot of damage. Yeah.
All right, so all right. So what type of team comps work really well with her, and which team comps negate her?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, she has a very flexible build. Just
Yeah.
her kit's really good in general. Just like she's good at team fighting, right?
So
That's her thing.
it seems like she's very susceptible to crowd control, right?
Not really
But
great.
she's got her trait, which I
Yeah.
mean we haven't even mentioned yet. It basically you jump up into the air and you're untargetable
Mhm.
for
It's
0.75 seconds. Which
so
gives
it's
you-
Viking jump, right? But are you like when Vikings jump, right? They have the invulnerable sign above them. Is it the same thing for her? Like, can she be CC'd or is it just damage prevention?
No, damage and CC. She can't get hit by anything.
Okay.
It says you're immune to all hostile effects.
Okay, but is it unstoppable?
It essentially is. It's like immune. It's like you have a mini D shield.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
unstoppable. If you're rooted, I don't think you can use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But if
Same
you're
with the
if you're
teleport.
slowed when you use that, it breaks the slow on you.
Yeah.
All right, so all right,
And it's like a 8 or 12-second cooldown. I don't have the number in
think it's
front of
8.
me, but it's really
8
short.
seconds. It's a very short cooldown.
Yep.
And
All right, so-
I did
yeah.
see like on one of the 16 talent tiers, it says gain 35% more physical damage anytime you have more than 15 armor. Her baseline armor is 15. So I just think automatically Uther, like if she has Uther heal, she automatically has that damage boost to her physical
You're
damage. I
talking
thought that
about
was-
You're talking about a level 16, right? Armored Assault.
Yeah.
And she has like a Q1 at level 13, which gives you 5 armor if you can hit a hero, right?
Yeah.
So that automatically puts you over the 15 threshold to activate.
Yeah.
That.
Her
Yeah,
level
I mean, it might be
13,
nice.
all of her talents at level 13 buff her armor in one way or another.
Yeah. So I guess that's sort of like an auto attack type of build too. She has a lot of flexibility, I think, too.
She hits hard auto attack
Yep.
wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, have you tried level 1 quest where she gets Cassia bounces? That thing is broken because it bounces back and forth between 2 heroes.
Yeah.
You mean, but you have to hit the fan of knives, like 2 people with it, right, to reset it?
Yeah,
Is that one?
That's the reset.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that is
speaking of
it's
that,
a huge. Yeah.
go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, so it's just a huge damage buff. It's like Cassia's charged strikes.
Speaking of which, her level 20s it's like one use, but you could only use it again if you meet certain requirements. So, what do you guys think about that? It's kind of tough, in my opinion.
I liked it. I like it. It makes it more of a little mini game, right? Of if you want to have this ability to refresh, you must, Umbral Blind 2 heroes, which is a challenge, but it changes your playstyle.
So Schizo in chat says the Q armor with blade dance is very insane, is what he said. And then he also said that her charged strikes works on structures as well.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So it seems as though, because I've been somewhat listening the last few minutes, and it seems as though that she's very, very overpowered right now.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't know. I mean,
hard
she
to
seems
tell.
strong, but if you have a bunch of ranged on the opposite team fighting in an open space, you get shit for value out of her. So that's, you asked about counters earlier. That's one way to easily counter her.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Her numbers
let me-
are
let
just
me,
a little too strong.
Yeah.
right
So
now.
is she just overtuned and not overpowered then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Okay.
Like a 5-10% nudge, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like
Okay.
she's the opposite of Mouthfeel, who's under, tuned right, but just underpowered.
Okay. Well,
I think the Q build is going to be the easiest one to pull off and the most popular one as well.
so
all Q talents.
if let me see, if you're playing Hero League next week, are you just first banning her?
Not my
Yes.
Hero League matches. I don't think she's that overpowered. Like she's still susceptible to poke. I think there is still a burden of execution with her. Like you can't just run in and kill people. You have to, time out your trait, right? So you avoid damage and don't get blown up. There is a burden of execution with the character that, like, I think that was lacking in Hanzo, which is a little bit easier to play. Even though I'm trying to get used to Hanzo, she's a lot more difficult to play, like being more melee.
Yeah, I do like that her best engage is also her only escape, so you have to be very, very committed once you use that EN.
Yeah.
To me,
It's
that's
gonna be like
balance maker.
Genji.
Yeah.
Dog shit win rate, but there'll be those guys who put in the time.
So my thoughts is that in the silver and bronze and probably the gold level, that she'll be really bad. She'll be highly prioritized, but she'll be really bad.
Definitely
she'll
very
be
fun to play, though. Very fun to play.
Yeah. Also very high skill chat because you have so many activatables. Like yes, you're gonna have the charge strikes, you're gonna have her trait, which is very important for her survivability. She has, as I said, execution wise, she's very, very hard to play.
So Space Monkey says that Hanzo is a good counter to Maiev.
He
Well,
is.
yeah, Hanzo has super long range.
Also shreds armor.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Alright,
he
well,
also has
anything
one
I-
of the best
oh.
disengages and can't jump over a wall, and then Maev's like, oh, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
All right. So anything else on Maiev at all, or?
She's really fun. Like, congrats,
Yeah.
Blizzard. Actually, I was afraid that Maiev would never be in the game because Taronda has a Maiev skin. But, they said, screw it. We're doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.